Greetings for the day. My name is Aastha and I teach English to students of diverse age groups. And today I'm going to talk about very important element in any story, in any comic book, in any novel, and which plays a very integral role for the development of the plot and to understand what is there inside, and that is called character. So my teaching aid today is on 3 secrets for teaching character traits. So here we go. Now, when we talk about characters, students fail to understand how to analyze that character, whether to look on the outer aspect, the physical traits of a character, or whether to focus on the behavior, the thoughts, the feelings. So here is the concise layout and step-by-step process to understand this. So here we go. Now, first of all, going by the little definition, we understand that characters are often called heart of a story, and which either make a story or break a story. And yes, we are not talking about the stories which do not have any character in it. So we can understand any character by comprehending their internal and external traits. Here we go. Now, this physical representation, it's actually symbolical also. This part talks about the outside aspects. The outside is going out. We talk about the physical traits, what we can see. For example, the boy is wearing a green shirt, yellow shorts, black and brown boots, has a mole on the cheek. This is how a child learns how to analyze the character from outside. Similarly, when we talk about the inside traits, it talks about what's there inside us. That are our thoughts, our words, what we are thinking, our feelings, and what are our actions as a result. They overall shape the personality of a character. So therefore, what we learn is based on what the character says, does, or thinks. Coming on to the second aspect, when we talk about character traits, they can be inferred by feelings, actions, dialogues, and thoughts. Now, each one has one example so as to make it more clear. For example, when we talk about feelings, for example, when Sage saw the pile of junk, a feeling of excitement bubbled up inside him. He could not wait to begin building the object he was imagining. Thus, we can infer that Sage is creative, excited. Coming on to actions. Paul glanced at his math assignment and sighed. It would too long to solve problems. He quickly scribbled some randomly and just went away. We can infer that Paul was lazy, he was smart. Another example of thoughts. For example, Pihu wondered if she would give her pen to her friend to write the test. She would in a way help her. Therefore, we can infer that Pihu was thoughtful, she was helpful, she was friendly, and so on and so forth, going with the dialogue. The dialogue is, "This is how we are going to split the work," David said sternly. "I'll work on the poster while you two work on what we are going to say for the presentation." We can infer that David is dominating, bossy, overpowering, or in some context, he's trying to collaborate. That again differs from situation to situation, character to character. Now, coming on to the third aspect, the third page of the teaching aid, we understand. Now, since we have generalized the concept of how to go about characters, how can we analyze them from inside, from outside, we give these graphic organizers one by one to students. The students work in pairs, they can also work in squares, depends on the classroom management strategies the teacher has, depends on the strength of the class, and also the interest level of the students. So this graphic organizer, I just bring it a little closer. The graphic organizer talks about get to know your character, wherein first one talks about the appearance. What does the character look like? And then the child needs to support it with the text evidence. That is example from the text which students many a times fail to understand, fail to pick up, and fail to give it in the exams. Personality, what are the character's thoughts at that particular moment in the text along with the evidence of the text. And then we talk about the actions. What is the character doing? again with the evidence from the text. Now, many a times when I read answers, I see students writing so and so. For example, XYZ was very creative, smart, lazy. He had presence of mind, and then I always end up writing justify, support your answer with examples. Because if you are giving qualities, attributes, adjectives to a person, you need to support, and that is why text evidence makes them explicitly think, deliberately, consciously think that yes, they need to give the evidence from the text. And now this little space in the center, it says, it asks the child to complete the picture of the character. It has two aspects in it. One, if the child is reading the lessons, generally in primary, upper primary or middle school, children have those beautiful, colorful pictures wherein the characters are given, so they can, take reference or draw their own pictures. But in some cases, in some stories, in some novels, in fact in various, there are no pictures. So this area, this little space gives the child that imaginative ability, and the child, based on the description of the character, the child imagines the character. It had brown hair, hazy eyes, or blue lenses. He was wearing glasses. He had freckles, or he had mole on faces. Whatever the child imagines and draws. So this is again giving artistic abilities, platform. And this is what we talk about art in education. And then we come on to the second graphic organizer, which can be given in the form of a worksheet, which is actually symbolically speaking a character wheel to take forward the journey of the story, how character helps in development of the story, and moreover it talks about traits of the characters, drawing of a character, what are the feelings, the likes, the dislikes, what other characters think about that main character which we have picked up. That is also one very important aspect to understand a character from other characters' point of view. And then we have actions and thoughts. So these two graphic organizers in the form of worksheets, it can be done in the form of role plays, it can also be done in the form of class presentations. And then, now when students are writing these adjectives, they might feel, they might not have those many words to fill up these graphic organizers. So therefore we have now a pool of words in front of them, which we call as character web. These are innumerable. Yes, obviously we can count them, but then again there are so many adjectives out there for the students to pick as per their understanding of a particular character, and then help analyze, synthesize, critically think upon the character and its traits and fill in the worksheets, graphic organizers. Symbolically speaking, we all are born black and white. Going into little philosophical aspects of life, we all are born black and white. We are never born polite, we are never born rude. Yes, leaving aside those inherent foibles which we all possess, all qualities are picked up from the society. It is based on our primary socialization as well as our secondary socialization. So therefore, children also realize that it is in our hands to develop these qualities, to inherit them, to imbibe them, and how they can pick up from different traits and color the life of any character. And yes, after we are done with these activities, either in the form of pair work or group work, this little reinforcement, a winner crown is there to award the child that, it could be done like, it could be given in the form of a group. The whole group wears it. There could be 4 crowns, or it could be one best speaker in the class, or the one main representative of the class can be given this winner crown as a piece of reinforcement or an award, and the child is going to wear that for another 1, 2 or 3 classes, so that the child also feels confident and motivated. So actually it's not only about teaching character traits, it's also imbibing them, utilizing them, making a class so powerful, so empowering that students do not forget it, neither the class nor the teacher. Thank you so much.